Now with breaking news, this is News Channel 5 at 10.
Tonight, investigators are on the scene of a deadly explosion in Wilson County. As you can see, this is a live picture from Sky 5 HD of that area in Lebanon. There's lots of damage to at least one home in this neighborhood. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
I'm Jessica Ralston. That explosion inside a home there in Wilson County has killed one person and sent another to the hospital with serious injuries. We're going to go live now to the scene. That's out there on Vance Lane. That's where News Channel 5's Todd Walker has been all night long. We're hearing it was truly a scary situation.
Yeah, guys, sources are telling News Channel 5 this is being investigated as a targeted attack. Authorities, they are not saying much right now, but there are a lot of agencies out here investigating this, including the FBI, including THP, their bomb squad unit, and also TBI. There's multiple agencies that are involved in this, so this is definitely a high-profile incident. Take a look at Sky 5 once again. It's live over the scene of this house in question. Authorities will keep this scene locked down all night as they try to figure out what led to this explosion. And right now they're focused on just clearing the scene and making sure that there are no more explosive devices. They haven't even begun to collect evidence yet. Around 5 o'clock this evening, people in the area say they heard a big boom. Sources are telling us this explosion came from something that was sent in the mail. Sources say that explosion killed one person and sent another to Vanderbilt via life flight with serious injuries. McLean Christian Academy is just yards from this home. Here's the principal of the school describing what she heard.
I heard a big boom. Looked out the window, did not see anything. Thought someone might have actually backed into the building next to my office. But then when I came out the rest of the way to the street, I could see about 7 emergency vehicles in the yard. And when I left, there were 2 more entering. So I knew something pretty serious had happened.
And the students that go to this campus from McLean Christian Academy, they'll be starting 2 hours late, and they'll be attending school at the First Presbyterian Church in Lebanon because this area is going to be clogged with investigating agencies for the foreseeable future as they try to figure out what happened here. And again, they have not even begun collecting evidence right now because they are still trying to ensure that their people, the investigators, will be safe when they go inside, that there aren't a possibility for more explosives in there. They don't believe they are, but they're doing this out of an abundance of caution because of the seriousness of this event. Now, we're going to stay on scene and bring you the latest as we get this because, again, sources telling News Channel 5 that one person was killed from some sort of explosion inside that house. If we can take Sky 5 again, you can see that the windows of that house are blown out, and so there was some sort of explosion inside the house. We'll continue to follow this for you and bring you the latest throughout the night and on News Channel 5 this morning. For now, live in Wilson County, I'm Todd Walker, News Channel 5 HD.
Now with breaking news, this is News Channel 5 at 10.
We hope that it gives the family some closure. This particular case, maybe not the closure they were expecting or wanting, but in effect, at least now they do know what truly happened to their loved ones.
Closing in on a case and hoping for closure, all after a man is charged with planning the bomb that killed his in-laws. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
I'm Jessica Ralston. We begin tonight with breaking news. There has been a truly shocking arrest in the explosion at a home that killed an elderly couple in Wilson County.
Tonight, Richard Parker is in jail, charged with first-degree murder. He's accused of killing his in-laws, John and Marion Setzer. We have team coverage tonight with the family's reaction to the arrest and the events that happened today to bring Parker into custody.
We're going to first head out tonight to News Channel 5's Todd Walker with a look at how investigators cracked this case.
Yeah, Rory and Jessica, Richard Parker is behind bars tonight on $1 million bond. He was arrested in his own home. Investigators say this came down to good old-fashioned detective work. The evidence led them right to Parker, and he was just one door down. The last time these men filed in front of the TV cameras, it was to say you should be on the lookout. This time, that warning is over.
We do feel like we have the single person responsible for committing this crime in custody.
An in-depth investigation that never left this property has landed the one and only suspect who lived on this property. Richard Parker, the 49-year-old son-in-law of John and Marion Setzer, was arrested this afternoon. Authorities say after days of investigating, the evidence led them to Parker. A grand jury agreed.
After hearing that evidence, they returned a 2-count indictment a felony first-degree murder.
The list of charges include 2 more charges of premeditated first-degree murder and another count of possessing an illegal weapon for having the bomb. Investigators still won't say anything about why they think Parker planted it or what kind of history he may have had with his family, but they're sure the public is safe.
This device didn't arrive through any kind of shipping services, didn't arrive through the mails. It was placed there by our suspect, and so I think that should be a relief that there aren't other devices showing up around this region.
That may be a relief for some, but there is still a family missing 2 important members, and now the third is the one in front of the cameras.
We would be remiss if we did not send out condolences to the Setzer family.
Now, before we knew he was considered a suspect, I had been trying to get a hold of Richard Parker myself. The first time I called his home, someone picked up and then immediately hung up right after that. The second time I called, I got Parker on the phone, but he politely declined to talk to me. Now, Chris Cannon has been looking into Richard Parker's background and also speaking with family friends. He's live over at the scene where this all began on Monday. Chris?
Tonight we're learning new details about Richard Parker's past. He's the man accused of planting a bomb that killed his in-laws in Lebanon earlier this month. Parker already has a history of arson. But new at 10 tonight, News Channel 5's Todd Walker has learned he's connected to at least 2 more fires. Todd?
Yeah, Rory, Parker was never officially linked to either of those fires, but they both happened at his homes while he was living there, and some say under suspicious circumstances. Long before Richard Parker was accused of an unspeakable crime, he was David Hewen's neighbor.
Very standoffish, and evidently that's his personality.
Hewen says Parker moved into the neighborhood and built his own house next to his in-laws because his old home in Mount Juliet had caught fire.
Not knowing any of his history, I just considered it bad luck.
But not long after the house was finished and before the Parkers had officially closed on the place, Hewen says there was another fire.
And we came out and realized there was smoke. My wife actually saw it from underneath the overhang. And we ran back in the house and called the fire department.
Hewen says the Parkers had just left for church minutes before they spotted the smoke. The house had extensive damage when all was said and done, and it sat for months before Hewen says Parker got the insurance money. He rebuilt the house himself once again, closed on the home, and finished moving in.
After he got the house rebuilt, and I said, man, you've really been through a lot. And did they ever find out about the fire? And he said, they're pretty sure that it was a heating and air company. They put a split system in the house, and the system that was in the attic caused the fire. And my response was, well, it wouldn't have been on at that particular time. And he said, well, they obviously miswired it. And I just thought that was extremely odd.
There were always suspicions, but now those suspicions are even stronger. Parker was arraigned yesterday. He pled not guilty to all the charges against him, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. Rory?
Todd, thanks. A memorial service for John and Marion Setzer is scheduled this weekend. It will be held Saturday at Nashville's First Church of the Nazarene. Visitation is from 9 a.m. to noon. The service begins at noon. The public is invited to attend.